You are now watching The Meech.
I love Mario games, but if I'm being real with you guys, I don't exactly love 2D Mario anymore. Now, this isn't a case like Mario Party where I didn't really get into the series, because I've played every 2D Mario game, even obscure ones such as Super Mario Bros. Special and All Night Nippon Super Mario Bros. I also grew up playing 2D Mario, specifically the New Super Mario Bros. Games, and New Super Mario Bros. Was my first Mario game. We wouldn't be where we are today if it wasn't for that game. So why am I not crazy about 2D Mario? The older you get, the more nostalgic you tend to get. You might remember games you grew up with to be better than they actually were, but for me, it has been quite the opposite, and mostly because of New Super Mario Bros. 2 and New Super Mario Bros. U. At the time, they were serviceable games, but after playing games like Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, Rayman Legends, any of the modern Kirby games except for Star Allies, and yes, even Yoshi's Crafted World, 2D Mario starts to feel incredibly rudimentary and outdated. I'll always love games like the original trilogy and world, the Super Mario Land games, New Super Mario Bros., and to an extent Wii, and Super Mario Maker 1 and 2. But considering New Super Mario Bros. U was the most recent 2D Mario game, I was concerned that it could be the future of 2D Mario, and I didn't want that. Not only is it unoriginal, but the gameplay is boring. Level design feels robotic, and it contains archaic elements like the time limit. I was convinced 2D Mario could remain stagnant. Sure, New Super Luigi U is a hidden gem, but in terms of Mario, things weren't looking too good. And I just wanted a new 3D Mario game, considering I know that those are almost always exciting. But suddenly, everything changed with the reveal of Super Mario Bros. Wonder. This was hands down one of the most exciting reveals Nintendo has ever done. It not only revived 2D Mario, but it also appeared to be the true evolution of 2D Mario. Needless to say, I was very excited, and I couldn't wait to play it, so I decided not to wait. Nintendo has put out a Super Mario Bros. Wonder demo early in the United States. Retail stores with a Switch kiosk like Best Buy and Target will likely have the Super Mario Bros. Wonder demo. I'd suggest calling and asking if they have it beforehand, but the Target and Best Buy I went to did have the demo. But another thing worth noting, if there's both a TV kiosk and a handheld Switch kiosk, the demo might only be available on one of them. Target had it on the handheld kiosk, but not the TV. Best Buy had it on the TV, but not the handhelds. Preferably, I'd go for the TV one. I've seen a few concerns about Super Mario Bros. Wonder, things such as it being a reskin of New Super Mario Bros., it being too easy, and if it was indeed worth the over decade-long wait. So the question is Super Mario Bros. Wonder on track to becoming the best 2D Mario game ever made? And could it even be the best Mario game ever made? And for the more cynical viewers out there, is it gonna be horrible? Super Mario Bros. Wonder is what you'd expect from a 2D Mario game. The fundamental gameplay consists of running, jumping, stomping on Goombas, stomping on Koopas, though this time you can actually do that. You can't do that in the Mario Bros. Arcade game, and powering up. I mean, how could you stomp on Koopas in the Mario Bros. Arcade game? Those are shell creepers. Everyone knows that. Unless you're Chris Pratt, that is. Some Mario games like Super Mario Bros. 2 strayed away from the classic formula, but most of them have retained the core formula of 2D Mario games. See, the problem with games like New Super Mario Bros. U, the problem isn't that it retained a classic formula, it's that it didn't do anything new and suffered from level design that felt automated. Elements like the power-ups, throwing Koopa shells, and squashing baddies are part of Mario's identity, and it's important to have them. They're integral to 2D Mario, just like racing is to Mario Kart. You wouldn't want Mario Kart 9 to become a dating sim, just like most wouldn't want 2D Mario not to feel like 2D Mario. Okay, to be real with you guys, I'd be down for a Mario dating sim, but only if it's a spin-off. The demo has 7 levels, 5 main levels, 1 badge level, and another secret sort of level. And it gave you a good idea of what to expect from the full game. And I played all of them. The aspect of Super Mario Bros. Wonder I was most excited to see was with level design. As I've stated before, 2D Mario feels outdated compared to most 2D platformers that are modern, but Super Mario Bros. Wonder is the evolution we needed when it comes to level design. Part of what makes modern platformers like Rayman Legends and Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze so great is the interactivity you can have with the environments, and in Super Mario Bros. Wonder, there is a lot of it. You can discover platforms that will appear as you walk towards them, and can water droopy flowers and bring them back to life. And in one of the levels, you can use the Bull Rush enemies to pummel through bricks and uncover secrets. The level design is organic, and it's something that couldn't have been done on older hardware like the Super Nintendo. And there's a lot of depth to the level design as well. Each level will have 2 collectibles, the Wonder Seeds and the 3 big purple coins. The big purple coins are similar to the star coins, but the Wonder Seeds can be obtained after beating a Wonder Effects section. By using Wonder Flowers, the levels will alter, and their effects are always different, leaving you wondering what's going to happen next. This is an element of Super Mario Bros. Wonder that's truly the highlight. Not only is it fun seeing what effect a level will have, but it gives each level its own identity. Another problem with New Super Mario Bros. U is unmemorable levels, but I remember all the levels I played here and remember their Wonder effects. But it's not just limited to the Wonder effects, because there are brand new power-ups and the new badge system. The power-ups available in the demo were the Elephant Fruit and the Drill Mushroom. I was so excited to see what this Elephant Fruit can do. Elephants are one of my favorite animals, and the idea and just design of Elephant Mario and friends was so out there, but just feels so right. And it's an absolute blast to use. It feels a little bit like a Mega Mushroom, but it's way more intuitive and creative. Whacking enemies with your trunk is so satisfying, and watering flowers is also quite satisfying. The Drill Mushroom is also a really fun power-up. I do wish they went for the more creative Dog Mario that could dig underground, but it's still really cool and has some cool level design surrounding it. One of my initial gripes with Mario Wonder was the lack of special abilities for the characters. I love the unique abilities in Super Mario Bros. 2 and in Super Mario 3D World, so the idea of having all the characters play the same, it didn't sit well with me. But then, it hit me. The reason why I love the unique abilities isn't so much that they give characters unique attributes, but because they add in variety with the gameplay, and the badges bring in just that. Each will grant Mario and friends some new abilities, some even being returning like Luigi's high jump, but they can now be used for all characters. I will say, it's a bit weird seeing Mario jump and then kick just like Luigi, but the badges are an excellent addition. I had a lot of fun using the parachute cap. The control of Mario Wonder is also fantastic. It's the best 2D Mario has felt. It's a perfect balance between the classic games and the new Super Mario Bros. Games. Now the triple jump is no longer present, but to be honest, when did the triple jump ever benefit you in New Super Mario Bros.? It was just kinda there, and wasn't all that useful. I also noticed some excellent implementation of HD Rumble. It enhances the way the game feels to play, and although you won't experience it if you're using a Switch Lite or a third-party controller, I have to bring it up. And really, you're missing out without it. A highlight and major addition to Super Mario Bros. Wonder that isn't often brought up is the enemy variety. There are so many new enemies, almost more new enemies than returning ones, and I gotta say, these enemies are great. The chipmunk enemies are hilarious and adorable. I wonder if they team up, they'll start a band. And there's even a weird snail enemy. Considering snails are the bootleg Mario game equivalent to Koopas, it's funny finally seeing them in an official game. Anyone remember Lep's World? I sure do. And the Bull Rush enemies are awesome. There are too many to list, but I haven't seen this many new enemies in a Mario game since Super Mario Land 2 6 Golden Coins, and this is just based on the demo. So far, I've had nothing but positive things to say about Super Mario Bros. Wonder. It's fun, it's creative, it has a ton of new ideas and enemies, and the power-ups are awesome. But where Super Mario Bros. Wonder shines yet again is with the presentation. I've seen the notion the Switch is severely outdated and isn't capable of running impressive games anymore. I will say, I'd like a more powerful system as much as the next guy, but I don't feel the urgency like most do. And with Super Mario Bros. Wonder, The presentation is absolutely phenomenal. The art style seems to translate 2D designs into 3D. It's a very unique style and it looks great. The colors are vivid and the backgrounds are detailed and look great. But the expressions and animations are truly the highlight of the graphics. Everything from jumping, to running, going through pipes, and powering up has an attention to detail that really brings in so much personality. It's almost like watching a cartoon. That's how expressive the characters are. But the real highlight is the sound design. Music is great as always, but the sound design also has the attention to detail that the graphics have. When you do a ground pound, there will be a drum roll, and when using Elephant Mario, the music switches to trumpets, really making you feel like a powerful elephant. Damn, I'm really starting to feel like Melvin. Where are my Choco Krispies at? Another concern with the game was the voice acting. It wasn't just because of Charles Martinet retiring, but the talking flowers potentially getting annoying, and I have to say, Mario's new voice actor does a pretty great job. Luigi, on the other hand, sounds indistinguishable, but as for the flowers, they didn't get on my nerves at all. In fact, I looked forward to talking to them. They always have something funny or interesting to say, and I like their voice. But if you are annoyed with them, you can turn off their voices, hilariously followed with, "Was it something I said?" From the gameplay to the presentation, you can tell the developers were passionate making this game, and I guarantee you, the first people to gush about the presentation are the same ones who claim graphics don't matter, and it's okay for Pokemon to have bad graphics. I think the real question is, was there anything I didn't like or was concerned about? One of my concerns applies to most modern Nintendo games, but I am worried it could be too easy. I did see elements of challenge, and I'm hoping we can at least go back to Super Mario World levels of challenging, but the only major criticism I have is how Yoshi is handled. He's an easy mode character that cannot take damage or power up. I don't like this because Yoshi is fun to play as. He has his signature abilities. It's one thing if he can't power up, but not take damage? Because of that, I won't want to play as him. I have a certain animosity towards easy modes like this. Things like the Super Guide, White Tanuki Suit. Why bother playing a game if you don't care enough to become skilled and challenge yourself? That's part of the fun, and modes like this destroy the very concept of what gaming's all about. If you're bad at a game, well, you should lose. I've heard arguments these modes are for accessibility. Yeah, the only accessibility I can think of is accessibility for gaming journalists. But none of the retro games had modes like this, and you had to earn beating levels. I for one never use easy modes or rewinds like this, even for the most frustrating levels, because without challenge, a game will feel unfulfilling. I'm also hoping we see more power-ups, be it new ones or classic ones. Nintendo has kept most of the game a surprise, keeping us in an appropriate state of wonder. And I'm really hoping it stays that way. But I'm also hoping to see at least a flying power-up, the Ice Flower, and maybe an obscure power-up like the Hammer Suit returning. They could even throw in some 3D Mario power-ups. That would be awesome. But I absolutely loved what I played. I'll definitely be doing a full review of Super Mario Bros. Wonder when it releases, so be on the lookout for that. I'll also be posting a discussion about the demo with T&D this week, but as it stands, this demo was absolutely incredible, and I'm very excited. But other than Yoshi being a no-shoshi for me, everything else, this is easily going to be the best 2D Mario game, and easily could be top 10 material. I tend to prefer 3D Mario games and Mario Kart over 2D Mario, so we'll have to wait and see if it's the best in the series. But objectively speaking, based on what I've played of the demo, Super Mario Bros. Wonder is near perfection, and October 20th can't come soon enough. So hey, what are you waiting for? Get out there and play the demo. Once you have, let me know what you thought of it, and as always, keep calm and da-da on.